Welcome to today's Wealth Talk, where we can collectively move forward on our wealth building journey. I am Mr. Eric Watson, entrepreneur and business leader. It is my mission to help as many people as I can in the areas of wealth, wellness, and winning. If I can help but one person get started on their wealth building journey, my job is done. Welcome to today's Wealth Talk, where we can collectively move forward on our wealth building journey. And I will say again, as I say each and every day, I am yet again blessed to be blessed on today, the greatest day of my life. And some of you may ask, why is today of all days the greatest day of your life, Eric? I'll tell you why. Today is the greatest day of my life because today is the most recent occurrence whereby I've been allowed to get up out of bed, walk amongst the living, take yet another breath, but more importantly, share with each and every one of you. And I truly feel that my ability to share is a blessing. I do not take it for granted. And I feel that if someone out there can be touched or positively influenced by something that is said today, I am blessed. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get into what I consider the 6 steps to financial freedom. All right. And these are the things they don't teach you in school. It's the basics, but they don't teach you these things in school. All right. So when I refer to the 6 steps of financial freedom, I'm talking about number 1, create a budget. Number 2, start an emergency fund. Number 3, reduce your expenses. Number 4, increase your income. Number 5, power roll your debt. Number 6, pay off your mortgage. And if there was a 7th, it would be to invest. But that involves increasing your wealth, not getting there. We're just talking about the basics to get you to a point of being wealthy. All right. So I already defined last week, or actually a couple of weeks ago, wealth. OK, wealth is having residual income that exceeds your monthly expenses. So that residual income is the income that comes in month after month after month, whether you work or not. Okay. Residual income is that income that keeps on coming, whether you go to work or not. All right. And that exceeds your monthly expenses. So you don't have to go to work if you don't have to. All right. Last week, we talked about step 1, which is to create a budget. All right. And today we're going to talk about step 2, which is to start an emergency fund. All right. So number 1, let's ask the question. Why do you need an emergency fund? OK, why do you need an emergency fund? The purpose of an emergency fund is just like it says. It's in case of an emergency. All right. Just in case you have some type of unplanned event, just in case you have something like you get laid off from work. You have some unexpected medical expenses, things of that nature. Unexpected expenses that come up that you would typically pay for with a credit card, right? I think many people in the federal government can relate to the need for an emergency fund because around 800,000 people were furloughed for 35 days. You know, they were temporarily laid off without pay. OK, and some of them even had to work for no pay. All right. But those who didn't have an emergency fund, I bet they wish they had an emergency fund at that time. All right. So it's something to think about. All right. Now, an emergency fund can start with as much as you can set aside month to month. OK, just then you want to, kind of work your way up to right around, I guess, around $1,000, just enough to pay off those small things that would come up, like I said, that you would use a credit card to pay for. All right. Those things you would typically charge to a credit card, those unexpected expenses. All right. You want to get it up to around that amount. And as you grow, your emergency fund should eventually equal 6 months of your expenses. All right. You want it to get to 6 months of your expenses. All right. And that is to cover just in case, something drastic happens. All right. But as you grow your emergency fund, you want to factor a small amount into your budget each and every month. All right. And we already talked about how to create that budget. Right. And once you have that budget, you can simply add a line in that budget to say, OK, I am going to set aside $5 a month, $10 a month, $20, $50, $100, $1,000 a month for my emergency fund. Save whatever you can each month until you eventually, like I said, get up to that point where you have a savings of 6 months of expenses. Now, again, if you have that budget, you'll know exactly what that number is. You'll know exactly how much 6 months of expenses is because it'll be shown in your budget numbers. All right. You know exactly what that adds up to. All right. But a good rule is, like I said, 6 months in case you get laid off or, again, you have some type of medical issues and you just can't work for a long period of time. And, some people may say many jobs have paid sick leave. But if you're on an extended leave period for some reason, what happens when that runs out? Okay. Now, enough on that part. Now, one thing that has shocked me in talking with so many people with regard to their finances is that a lot of people don't have bank accounts. And that's crazy to me. Get a bank account. Okay. Go out, get a bank account. And you don't have to walk around with a whole bunch of cash in your pocket. Number one, it's not a smart way to manage your money. But number two, it can be dangerous. All right. You don't want to walk around with a whole bunch of cash. Put your money in the bank. All right. And I've also experienced some people who get paid using some type of prepaid credit card. So they don't feel like they need a bank account because they get paid on this card and they can pay expenses using this prepaid card. But what you will find is a lot of places don't accept prepaid credit cards. So you need some type of credit card or debit card to use in its place. All right. So go to the nearest bank, open up a checking and a savings account. OK, keep your emergency fund in that savings account. Keep it separate from the money that you use to pay your bills monthly, but get a bank account. And most banks will offer a debit card associated with that account. All right, which is much more widely accepted than a prepaid card. All right. And that's just the way it is. But save your emergency funds in the bank in a separate account. All right. Save in that savings account and use your checking account to pay your monthly expenses. All right. Now, another point I want to bring up when it comes to emergency savings is insurance. All right. You always want to make sure that your family is taken care of in the case of, something happening to you, unfortunately. You don't want to leave them left in the lurch. All right. You want to make sure that they are taken care of, especially if they are completely dependent on your income. All right. It's disheartening to see so many people that have GoFundMe accounts to pay for individuals' funeral expenses and to pay for life after someone passes away. All right. Get insurance. All right. Don't leave your family in that situation. A good rule of thumb is to maintain 10 times your annual income in insurance. So if you make $50,000 a year, you should maintain about $500,000 in insurance. Now, I am not an insurance broker, so I'm not going to get into the details of that, but please coordinate with an insurance broker as soon as you can. Get insurance. All right. So those are the different aspects of an emergency fund. Start small and grow it. All right. Maintain it in a bank account and make sure that you have insurance just in case. All right. And again, I will say I will continue to say this. All right. The road to financial freedom takes discipline. So you have to be consistent with your actions if you seriously want change, but it is possible. All right. So there you have it. Step 2, start an emergency fund. And if you have any questions or concerns, reach out. Let's connect. Let's talk about it. You can reach me at Mr. Eric Watson, MrEricWatson on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Let me know. I want to hear about you and your finances. All right. So with that, I want to wish everyone a blessed and prosperous day. And until we meet again, I'm out of here. Goodbye. Thank you for joining me for today's Wealth Talk. I hope I was able to help you with your wealth building mindset because, again, if I can help but one person get started on their wealth building journey, my job is done. Everyone have a blessed and prosperous day.